One thing that I'm really good at doing is judging myself. I am really good at determining what is good and what is bad within myself. I'm really good at labeling myself. And I've noticed that I like to do it before other people can do it to me. If I can shame a part of myself, then when somebody else does it, I'm already prepared. It's like a coping mechanism. And I know if you tapped on this video, this is something that you probably do too. And when it comes to unpacking shame within ourselves, it's because we're not accepting ownership of it. We're not claiming this thing that we feel insecure about. We feel like other people have the power in their lives to make a judgment, a criticism about something that involves us. And we take that energy in and we start to judge ourselves and shame ourselves for it. But to really reclaim that power and to have that vigor in your life every day, you have to be able to own up to the things that you're scared of within yourself. Own up to the things that you're avoiding. There's things in your subconscious that you're avoiding. You don't want to think about, oh, I don't like my big nose. I don't like how I treated my last person in that relationship. I don't like how I responded to my parents. I don't like the way I lash out on people. I don't like the way that I go into a room and I just hide in a corner. I don't talk to anybody. Like, I'm really ashamed of myself. When you do that, you are neglecting a part of yourself. You're saying, go over there. I don't want to see you. And when you do that, you're ignoring your own inner child. There's a child in here. And every time you ignore and you're like, you know what? No, you're bad. You're talking to the child version of yourself that you're bad. You don't matter. You have a big nose. Your body isn't right. You're not smart. You're subjecting that inner child to something that it does not need. And in order to, in your adult form, to take ownership and have power, you have to be able to own up to whatever you're ashamed of and be like, I claim this part of me. I claim the fact I have a big nose. I claim the fact that I don't have a haircut right now. I claim that fact. I claim that already. So when somebody else comes to judge me about that, I've already owned up to that. I already have that within me. And I'm not judging myself for it. If it's something that I want to change, I will change it. And if I cannot change it, I will accept it. And that's okay. And that's the way you have to start to think about everything, is that if I cannot change it, I'm going to radically accept this because this is a part of me. And I'm not going to ignore and act like it's not there. I'm going to claim this part of me because it is a part of me and it deserves my love and attention. One thing, even on a spiritual level, I've noticed, even when looking throughout the Bible, right? In the Bible, I've noticed that there's scenarios where God or Jesus is talking to Satan or the devil. That's very interesting that they are having conversations with this adversary that a lot of people are afraid of or avoid. And it's interesting that they are able to speak to this being that represents so much negativity in the world. And I think that this is also representation of how we need to have a conversation with things that we avoid or we're fearful of or have a high negative vibration. What I mean by that is there's something happened in your childhood that you don't want to talk about. This is something that you fear. There's a person that you fear or a situation that you fear. This is your devil. But you, as the representation of Jesus or God or a child of God, you're supposed to look at that demon, that situation that scares you, and have a conversation with it. And you talk to it like, why are you making me feel this way? What do you want to get me to do? And you become aware of how this demon is affecting your life. How is this trauma, this thing you're avoiding, affecting your life? Talk to it. And then once you talk to it and become aware, you have to be like, okay, I see you and I acknowledge the situation, but you don't have power over me anymore. Now that I'm consciously aware that you exist, that this demon exists, you don't have power over me anymore. A lot of times in exorcism movies, when there's a ghost, they first have to be aware that there's a ghost or a demon haunting them. And then once they do that, they'll be like, you know what? No, this is my house. I have ownership over this. And I'm not going to let you, I'm not going to let you take over. I'm going to be aware of you and I'm going to bless you on the way out, And that's what I feel like we have to do when it comes to our own issues, is that you don't just immediately resist them. You have to first be aware of them, listen to what they're doing and what it's saying to you. You know, this negative experience is now a part of you. Unfortunately, that it is. It's like we don't choose to have trauma and choose to have things that are wrong with us, but this stuff is in your psyche. And when this stuff is in your psyche, it's affecting the way that you show up in your relationships. It's affecting the way your partner shows up with you. It's affecting everything. On a spiritual level, also, when you're judging yourself and keeping the trauma packed into your subconscious, your point of attraction, the things that you're attracting to you, are coming from that source. To give you an example, everybody has a pot. And in this pot, when you're born, this is what you're attracting. Everything you're going to attract is going to come out of this pot. The pot's going to get filled with water, clean, delicious, amazing water. But sometimes it may get filled with piss, or it may get filled with dirt. This is the things that you don't like in life. These are the bad situations. The bad situations is the dirt, the piss, the bad things that are going in your pot. So when you don't clear this energy out by noticing that it's in there and being able to purify it with more water, you just hold on to this pot, and everything that you manifest is going to come out of this pot. The new relationships, the new jobs, the new friendships, the new situations that happen to you out in your life, they're coming from this pot of energy that you're holding within. You're holding this energy within you, and you don't even realize it because it's in your shadow. It's in your subconscious. You're not seeing it. And this is why when you go to therapy can give you a new insight where you can see into that pot and see, I didn't even know that was in there. I didn't even know I was still mad at my uncle for that, or my mom for that. I didn't know I was still mad at them. I didn't know that thing affecting me years ago was showing up in my relationship now. Or maybe what's happening to my partner, what happened to him before or her before, that's affecting the way they're treating me right now. Maybe the way that my partner dealt with their parents is affecting me now. Wow. Okay. What do I do with that now that I'm aware of that? You have to be able to accept it. And you have to be able to be like, okay, consciously, I'm about to make a new choice. Now that I'm aware of this trauma within me, and this is the way I'm showing up, I'm going to make a new choice in this situation. So when I'm triggered, when something happens on my outside and this triggers me again, I'm going to respond, not fighting it. I'm going to respond calmly. When Jesus was talking to the devil, and when Jesus was fasting and talking to Satan, he was calm. He wasn't fighting the devil, wasn't trying to kill the devil. He was calm. He was like, okay. The devil was talking to him, trying to tempt him. He was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to follow the instructions and the way that God, has me. And I'm not going to listen to what you're talking about. I'm not going to follow what you're talking about. He listened, but he didn't follow what Satan was telling him to do. These traumas are trying to get you to do something. They're trying to get you to act in an old pattern. And you have to be able to acknowledge the pattern that you're in and be like, I don't want to be part of this pattern anymore. I consciously want to love myself completely enough to choose a new thing that's better for me right now. I'm not going to let that have power over me anymore. But you can't deny that trauma's power if you reject that the trauma exists at all. Fear is just avoidance. You don't have to avoid that part of you no more because you accept that. And you use what you have to benefit you. You don't have to be nobody else because you're using your own resources and you're using what you already have. Yes, this voice is not deep, but I'm going to use this voice to inspire. I'm going to use this voice to be kind to myself and other people. I'm going to use this voice and do whatever I want with it. And I can still be powerful no matter my voice. And it's so important to have your own narrative and to be in your own truth, because when you're following the other narrative and truth other people are putting on you, they own you because you're not able to own the thing they're judging. You need to be able to own the thing you're judging and be like, okay, this is a part of me. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. But when you don't do that and you're like, no, I don't want to accept this part of me. I don't like it. Other people are able to own it and they're able to manipulate that part of you to whatever they think it is. And they're able to put their own definitions on it. But when you own it, it becomes your own definition, your own meaning. That's why a lot of artists sometimes they'll go through an event or relationship and then they'll put out music or art about it because they're able to own it. That's why a lot of them experience so much healing through their art, because they're able to own it. They're able to express what happened through visuals, and they are aware of what happened, and they speak their truth about what happened. They're able to own it instead of avoiding it and moving on and just making more music about random stuff. They're able to own this thing that happened to them and profit off of what happened to them. That is so powerful. So someone else can't like dig up dirt about this relationship or thing they've been through. They're like, I already own up to it and I'm already gonna voice it. So, you know, whatever narratives y'all put out, that's gonna be the second narrative because I already put out the first one. And lastly, when you take ownership and stop avoiding certain things, you'll be surprised at how quick you manifest certain things into your life that you've been wanting. Because that shame, that regret, that those negative feelings you have about yourself, it is affecting your point of attraction with other things that you are praying for. So once you start to own up to these things and you no longer have fear or avoidance of the negative things that you perceive in life, you'll notice how fast you attract things, because there's no longer a blockage to the thing that you've been asking God for, because you are not shaming yourself anymore. You're fully whole. And if you want a healthy situation as far as a job, friends, family, you know, a lover, a healthy, positive situation, you have to own up and be healthy within yourself. And part of that health is being able to clear out certain things that you are avoiding and be able to fully shine a light on your entire being of who you actually are. So, yeah. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have made it to the very end, I want you to leave a magnifying glass emoji, because we need to dive deep into ourselves and we need to overcome this shame. So a magnifying glass or some type of lamp emoji in the comments, just to let me know you made it to the end of this video. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. See you later.